When I first found out that I had to get my leg amputated, I was just like, I was in complete shock. I mentally had to prepare myself to come to terms that I wouldn't have a leg anymore.
I feel like every single aspect has changed. I don't think one thing hasn't changed. Well, I went from being an independent 14-year-old and to having to ask my mom just to get me a glass of water.
That was actually really one of the hardest things about this year, was I lost school, and then with that, I lost a lot of friends.
My life ended up now being in a hospital bed.
Definitely one of the hardest parts of something like this happening is you have no control.
So the first chance I got to get a wheelchair where I could push myself, I took the opportunity, and now I'm much happier where I am because I'm much more independent and not relying on everyone else.
Well, what's been different is now I can't walk. I have to walk on crutches, a walker, be in a wheelchair.
There's a point in time where I didn't want the door shut. When I had to be by myself, it was really, really terrifying at first. And I start crying and stuff because I felt like I was alone in a box. I'd feel shut out from the world completely.
The whole year, I just didn't feel like myself. Everything just changed.
Chemotherapy started, and that really just it hits your body pretty hard. I lost 25 pounds.
You do get dizzy and you do get nauseous and you just want to go on your left side and you're just like, okay.
All right, sweetie. Here we go, okay?
And you have that bucket next to you where you're about to vomit and it's just like, yeah.
The nausea, I can't explain it. It just feels nasty inside my body. Every time I want to throw up, but I can't eat because I have a feeling that I might throw up.
Best thing to do for nausea is just to take the medication. All the medication you can get, just take it.
To lose my hair, no problem. I know it's gonna grow back. But right now, I'm planning to shave it because when it starts falling, it gets all over the place and I just get itchy and all that.
I was just so upset. And then I decided I didn't want it falling out all over my pillow. I would definitely recommend shaving it and donating it to people who need it.
I was shaving my head earlier last week and I accidentally nicked my eyebrow right here. So that was fun.
I was noticing it was getting thin, so I just told my dad I just wanted to shave it. Instead of seeing it falling and falling and falling, I'd rather have just shaved it and get over it with.
I was really scared about shaving my hair. I was like, I'm gonna look ugly, I'm gonna look like a boy, I'm so scared. But when I shaved my head, I've never been so happy. It was the weirdest sensation.
When it started falling out, I felt really bad. I wasn't embarrassed about walking out with my prosthetic. I was worried about going out with no hair.
I actually ended up shaving it and just to get rid of it all because the longer pieces were the harder ones to see on your pillows.
If it was for me to give my hair on my leg, I would give my hair then my leg.
Going out in public was very difficult for me and still is difficult because people stare. That's what they do. Children, adults, they might say they don't stare, but they do.
I probably could count how many times I've looked in the mirror on two hands. Truly looked. Of course I've glanced, but I don't like looking in the mirror because I've lost 50 pounds. I have no hair, I have no eyebrows, I have no eyelashes.
I felt like the whole world was staring at me and they either stare at you or they look at you and you catch them looking and they purposely won't look at you.
My hat became my best friend for a really long time and still is almost.
Kind of like my prosthetic. I love it, honestly. I think it looks really cool. It's better than having no leg, just yeah, cool, look at it.
So the chemo definitely affects how much energy you have, and you just kind of adjust your habits.
Feels like I've never exercised in my life. it feels like my knees are going backward, you know, it's really weird, you know.
It does bring your energy down, but once 2-3 days later after chemotherapy, for me, I'm back up.
I don't remember the last time I felt like energy, like full energy.
It's the biggest thing that impacts you is the fatigue, because you really just get so exhausted, and you never knew there was that level of exhaustion of just not being able to go to the bathroom and even not having the energy to turn over in bed.
While I was taking chemo, we'd have weird cravings, and all the time, like, our taste buds would be like basically dead. So like sometimes we couldn't really even taste anything. I didn't eat, or it was just like, and then I get bad stomach cramps from not eating, and so like I'd have to try and swallow Jello. I couldn't even do Jello. I couldn't even do water some of the time either.
I went through about 3 weeks of obsessing with pickles.
For me, I get cravings for spicy things, and my tongue and my mouth get really sensitive to everything. So it's frustrating because it's just like, oh, this tastes so good, but your mouth is burning, your eyes are watering, and then just your nose is running, but you're still eating because it tastes so good, you know?
Just the general food I ate, it doesn't taste the same after I'm done with treatment. But 2-3 days after treatment, I get my taste back.
Your taste buds do change. Like, I didn't like to eat my favorite meals because they would taste different to me.
Oh my goodness, I wish I could take a bite of something and it tastes like it used to.
I found that I generally felt better in the mornings than in the afternoon, so I try and eat a larger breakfast.
But the biggest thing for me was I just needed some flavor. My cravings were protein, and as in bacon, needed a lot of bacon, and then salts.
I used to love food. I mean, I was 140 pounds for a reason. I love to eat, and when I'm nauseous and I'm like, nothing sounds good, it's just so just depressing. It's like, I wish that I could just feel good enough to eat a good meal.
The only real good things that I think came out of all this chemo and stuff is that I met these great kids who, you know, you now have you have so much in common with them.
It's like a community. Like, these people kind of become your family.
We're here for you. We're friends, and we're supporting you because we know what you're going through.
Whether it is the same exact diagnosis or just a little off, they are the only ones that understand the exhaustion and the cravings and the medications and the nausea.
I keep my spirits up by having positive energy and by getting support from friends and family members. I think that's the important thing.
The relationship with pretty much all of my family members has just gotten so much stronger. The greatest feeling in the world is to have your family like bring you up when you don't feel good.
It makes me feel that I'm not alone. Yeah, it makes me feel that I'm not alone, that I have people that can support me and I could support them.
Something I would say to someone newly diagnosed with cancer is that if you have questions, that there are answers, and don't be afraid to ask.
So my life is basically just on pause. That's, I think, the highest thing, the most thing that kept me okay, was that, you know, my life is gonna continue. Nothing is really gonna change.
I just can't wait for this to be over, you know, because it's just like, all right, cool, you know, I go back to school, I can start working, you know, I can just go and start exercising again.
Be strong, have faith, move on, and it'll just make a stronger person.
Eventually, you get to this point where I'm at now, where I can see the finish, and I can understand that that I'll be done with it and I'll be getting back to my normal life.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it sucks going through this. It's not fun, but it does get better. You get more used to it and you adapt to it. You find things you can do, and then all of a sudden it's like you're at the end.
The best advice is to just take every day as it is. Just be thankful that, you know, you're alive, because there are a lot of days where you just want to give up and you want to be done.
One piece of advice, sit back and enjoy the ride. Have lots of laugh and love.
I'd want them to know that they need to be advocates for themselves. If they don't feel comfortable with something that the doctors are saying or telling them, they need to say something.
When you get the diagnosis, you just have to be okay with anything because it's all about saving your life.
I'm gonna get cured. Not today, not tomorrow. Probably in a long time, but I'm gonna get cured.